Hello and welcome to What the Fuck Am I Reading? So since we last spoke, I think it's been almost a month, honestly, but last year in December I didn't read as much, but I have been reading a lot this year. So I have I think 10 something books to talk about, but I'll talk about it like very briefly. So in December I read The Last Final Girl by Seth Graham Jones. I'm starting to really like this author in general, honestly. I do have to say that this wasn't like the best story that I've read from him. I gave it 3 stars. Pretty good after all. Like, it's very self-aware. I think that what I love about My Heart's a Chainsaw began here, but it didn't came like into its full potential till My Heart's a Chainsaw. So for that alone, I prefer My Heart's a Chainsaw. But I can see like some different aspects that are on the other book in here, like a lot, like being experimented on. So for that, pretty okay. A very self-aware novel, because it's a pretty short novel, not even 200 pages, I believe. So yeah, overall, good, but didn't blow my mind or anything. So pretty okay after all, like overall. Then I did finish last year Spirits of Vengeance by Rob G. Hayes. I do still need to do like a physical review on Goodreads. I will do that this week. Hear me out. Did I like this? Yes. Did I like it as much as Post Gambit? Nope. This still super good. I do have to say that I like the characters more, like the group in general in here. But I also have one complaint. I really didn't feel the audiobook. But the interpretation of the narrator of Wong felt so annoying. I'm so sad about it because all the other voices were great, but Wong's, I didn't like it at all. So that's my main complaint. But story-wise, I did really like this one, but they are getting like slowly more emotional. I did really like the ending. But another kind of con that I have about this one is that it's really connected to the other ones. Like, for example, you can read Post Gambit without having read Never Die, though you're going to miss like some puns here and there. But this one, you do have to read Post Gambit, and preferably Never Die also before reading this one, because if not, you're going to be pretty lost, especially because one of the characters that shows in Post Gambit appears in here as main character. So you're going to be so lost, and so many of the emotional parts are linked to Post Gambit. That's a little bit of a con, but still, it's super good, dude. I gave it 4 stars. It's great. I'm super in love with this series in general. Like, it's so good. Basically, in this one, you're going to follow Haruto, and he's a demon hunter. Kinda, yeah, he's a demon hunter. He has a pact with the Shinigami, and he cannot die, basically. He takes on the wish of revenge of these spirits and tries to find the person who kills them, basically. It's super good. We also have, as I told you, 2 characters from the previous book showing up in here. Well, technically 3. If you know, you know. But overall, I really liked it. It was pretty great, but I do have to say that story in Post Gambit just hit me right in there. This one was great, but not as good as the other one, in my opinion. By the way, I also read Leviathan False, the final book in the Expanse series, book 9. Oh boy. I'm torn because I really liked it, but at the same time, I feel a bit disappointed. You see, I love the Expanse because of the politics in general. I do not love the Expanse because of the alien stuff that is in it. Like, it would drive me in, like, it was just like the thing that caught my attention at first, but everything else, like the machinations around everything, was what kept me intrigued. So in this one, they are very focused on the proto-molecule. I liked it, but at the same time, I missed some of the stuff that I liked about previous books in here. So it's very confusing. Also, at the beginning, I felt like nothing happened. I was just like sad for no reason, because I knew that it was going to end, so I was just sad about it, and that's it. But yeah, I'm very conflicted. I give it 4 stars. I don't think it's 4.5. And if I give it 4.5 when I finish it, I'm pretty fucking wrong. But yeah, I'm just pretty sad. I think it could have been like perfect, near perfect ending. But you know, I was so invested on it. I was pretty stressed about it too. But I do have to say, it met my expectations. It was better than what I thought. But still, I don't think that it reached, like, you know, the level that I was hoping for a finale. Though the ending was pretty fucking sad, I have to say. I was tearing up a bit like a child, and I really liked the epilogue. I think it was amazing. But yeah, some things here and there, not really quite my style, but it was a little bit, the beginning felt a little bit disjointed for all the epicness from the previous books. But that's it. I give it 4 stars. Pretty good overall. Still my favorite sci-fi series of all time. Then I read She Dreams in Blood by Michael R. Fletcher, and the thing is, I didn't like this one as much as Black Stone Heart, the first book in the series. I liked it, but the first one, when I finished it, I was just like, oh, give me more. She Dreams in Blood, this is so amazing. And this one, I feel like nothing happened at all. Till the end. And when the ending came, I was like, okay, and the rest. So I'm a bit conflicted about that. Like, the first one, it had like that very intriguing kind of aspect, so you could understand why nothing like major was happening. But in here, it just felt like going here, now we go here, now we go here, now we go here, and nothing was really transcendental. It's weird. It's a very weird feeling to explain, because I actually really liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars, so it's a good book. But I don't know what it was about it that it just didn't caught my attention as much as the previous one, Black Stone Heart. So still, I would highly recommend this one. This is grim dark fantasy. It's basically about Crane. He wakes up and he doesn't have any memories. So the only thing that he knows is that he needs to collect pieces of his heart in order to just regain his whole memories and his whole self. The premise is fantastic. That's something that I still really like. The premise is amazing. But some things here and there, not too into it. Like sometimes he's just stupid, like, he's just like, yeah, I love Henga. And then he's just like, but she's trying to protect me. No, she loves me. And it's really funny, and I understand why he's in there, but sometimes it was just annoying, like, dude, make up your mind, please. But yeah, overall I really liked it. I gave it 3.5. Super good. I still recommend Michael R. Fletcher. 100%, like, he does grimdark fantasy in a great fashion, and Black Stone Heart still super good. So still highly recommend it. Then I'm not going to step too much into this one, because I've already talked about this one in my best of the year, Bloodline by Will White, my new favorite book in the entire Kral series, on a whole nother level. 5 out of 5 stars. Loved it. I don't know why it has such a low rating compared to the rest of the series, because it was fucking amazing. Loved it. I already have Reaper. I'll be reading it soon. So good, man. So good. Then, the Curse book. This is The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. Yes, I did read it. I did it. I finished the first law. Probably you're not going to like what I have to say. I just don't think the series is for me. Like, as a plot-driven reader, I've said this many times, I'm just not into this one. And I do agree that this one has more plot than the other two. I do agree on that. We're on the same page. But nothing happened. Oh, you can see my tabs there. I had to read it like in 4 days, so I was reading chunks at a time. But nothing happened in the first, like, I don't know, 400 pages of it. Nothing at all. So I was so, like, zoom out of it. Like, yeah. So when the action came, I was just like, sure, I don't really care. And the thing is, I don't like any of the characters. Like, I know they're unlikable, but I don't like following them in general. Only Klodka, because Klodka is on another fucking level. Like, he's so fucking cool. Like, what a character. But the rest, Jezal is fucking dumb. Logan, he's there. So, I don't know. The rest, I ended up giving it 3 stars. The whole rating for the trilogy for me is a 3-star read. I do acknowledge that Joe Abercrombie is a great writer. Like, I love his writing style. And I'm 100% reading A Trouble with Pace. The next trilogy is set in the same world. I'm reading it 100% because I know that it has a lot of plot compared to this one. So I'm super excited for that. And I really want to read it soon. Like, I hope it's really soon. But this one, it's a no for me. I'm so sad about it because everyone loves this series and I really want to like it too because I want to be in the hype train. But sadly, no. I still really want to read The Age of Madness. Like, I don't know, there's something about the series that calls to me, and not this one. Then, because I'm just too lazy to grab it, and this is The Pale Throne by Ken Liu. I read it. It was the last book that I read last year. Whew. I'm not going to say anything about it because we're going to be discussing it on apparently the 22nd of January. That's the for now date. So I'm not saying anything. You'll have to see. You'll have to see. Then the first book that I read this year was Hollow Kingdom. This is a post-apocalyptic, well, apocalyptic type of book following a crow. Yes. Heard me right. It's curious that for someone who doesn't like humor books, to start the year with a humorous book. Very dark humorous book. I really liked it in general. Though, again, as with the first law, the only problem that I had with this book was that it didn't have like that much plot for me. But regardless, it was so much fun. It was so funny, so entertaining. I finished listening to it like in 2 days. I was so invested. It was great. Shitter is just the best. And I do have to say that it's filled with animals and there's animal death, which I don't like. Even if it's animal versus animal, plague versus animal, I don't care. I just don't like animal death. So that was too much for me sometimes, but still, it was fucking amazing. And I highly recommend this one if you just want like a very dark humor type of book. It's really good. I gave it 4 stars. It was truly hilarious. Like, the humor was on point. Then on a whim, I picked The Coward by Stephen Arian because everyone has been reading The Pariah, and for some reason I've been like more drawn to this book than the other one because the premise sounds super cool. It's basically about this man that is supposed to be a hero because 20 years ago or 10 years ago he fought with this group of heroes against this ice lich. They killed it, but only he came back. And now something weird's going on again, and he's just a fucking coward that does not want to go back. And that's so refreshing in the epic fantasy type of world. Like someone that is just like, you know, I'm out. I'm done with this shit. So I really like that. So I love the beginning of this book actually, which is pretty unpopular because most people just like the later half of this book because it's more action-packed. Something's happened. But I just like the first part because he's just like, no, fuck this shit. And I love that. And I think that that's what made this series so original in general. Better with the first half. I have to say that towards the later half, it lost my attention, my interest a bit. Even though I just really like ensemble type of unlikely heroes cast, like in the Maleficent 7. This has the same trope. I really want to read the Black Hawks too because I feel like it has the same kind of trope and feel. But I do have to say the ending has me very intrigued. Like that last part, excuse me, what the fuck? I just really want to read the next one. And there's no date or anything about it. I just want it. I hope that it comes out this year. I'm pretty excited to have read Stephen Arian finally because I do own Battle Mage, I just saw it. Battle Mage. I really want to try that series too. He has like 2 different trilogies. One is they're set in the same world, but one is a little bit more advanced in time. So I want to try those. But yeah, I'm pretty okay with this one. I give it 4 stars. Pretty good overall, but yeah, I was just more into the first half of it. Then I read a graphic novel. I read 30 Days of Night. This is the bind up of the Spanish edition of the trilogy. I read the first volume. I really liked it. I do have to say that the art is very weird. Like, it's very like blurry and such, but it's also pretty gory. Like, you can see it's pretty fucking weird, but I liked it. Like, it fit what was going on. It basically covers what happens in like the first movie, 3 Days of Night, which is a movie that I actually love and it's so good. But yeah, it's pretty good overall. I'm very curious to continue. I got this for Christmas. So yeah, I just really there's nothing much to say. It's just basically about, is it attacked in the face? Damn it. It's basically about a town in Alaska that is having 30 days of night and a group of vampires decides to attack it. That's it. But yeah, I give it 4 stars. I really liked it overall. Pretty solid. I really want to read book 2. Then I read this one, which is can we call it a memoir? No. This is a kind of a, well, let me explain. So this is Por si las voces vuelven by Ángel Martín. So my voice in English is so high pitched compared to the Spanish one. Holy fuck. But it's basically about this man. He's a pretty famous like influencer. Well, now he's an influencer, but he used to be like a host for a TV show, a humorous TV show. It was pretty good, one of my favorites on television. But he had like a psychotic attack a couple of years ago, so he decided to do a book about what happened basically, and I really liked it. You can tell that it's written by him. Like, it's not ghost written, you can tell it. It's just so prominent. He also narrates the audiobook. The audiobook is fucking fantastic. I love it. I listened to this one in a day. I actually really liked it. I gave it 5 stars. The only book that I've given 5 stars for now. Whew. Some things here and there. He even starts crying while reading the book in the audiobook, and it's just super sad because you can tell, yeah, like you cannot hear it in crying, but you can hear like the voice, like your crying voice, you know, and it's just so emotional. But yeah, I really liked it in general. I highly recommend this one. Super good. And second to last, I finished The Stars Within, which is one of the books for SPFFC. So I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to do like a separate video with all our finalist batch, or batch of finalists. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'll talk about this one later. And the last book that I finished this week, I'm about to finish another book. I'm about to finish Boys of War, but we'll talk about that one later. I finished Station 11. I really liked it. This is a post-apocalyptic book. It follows a dual timeline. You have like the present where the plague is starring, and you also go further in the past, and then the future where everything is going crazy and you're going to follow this band of musicians. It's pretty interesting. I do have to say that as I thought, there's more contemporary stuff than science fiction and post-apocalyptic stuff. But still, I quite enjoyed it. I thought I wasn't going to love it, but I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. The ending was the thing that left me the most meh about everything, because I really like the jumping back and forth, even though you leave the action. I just really like knowing the backstory and how everything connects. I find it like super satisfying. I love the TV shows that do that, like when you're just following like a main line, but the main thing is just the beginning and the end of the episode, and the middle is just like backstory and how we got there and different characters each time. I know I'm weird, but I just love that in general. So I really liked it. I really want to read Sea of Tranquility by her this year. I cannot wait for it to come out. Like, I just really want to read it. And also we'll try Glass Hotel probably. But yeah, I just don't want to make this video super long, so I'm going to stop talking here. But yeah, I'm about to finish Boys of War. I have like 40 minutes left of the audiobook. Really liking it overall. Have you finished any books since we last spoke? In that case, please just let me know down in the comments below. And also, if you have read any of these books, just let me know too, please. So, as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!